Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SasquatchLabs. Excuse me, I am your host, Darren, and as this is actually my first video in this channel, I wanted to say thank you for tuning in. And I wanted to start off explaining what this channel is going to be. This channel is not a Let's Play. This is not necessarily a full-on review. I'm going to play games. For the most part, I'm going to play games that I've never played before. I wanted to start out tonight talking about the Humble Bundle. Could talk, it would be great. Anyways, this has been expanded slightly since just recently. But basically, spend as much money as you want, and you are guaranteed to get Dead Space, Burnout Paradise, Crysis 2, Mirror's Edge, Dead Space 3, Medal of Honor. Spend as little as $4.89 or your region's equivalent, and you will get C&C, Red Alert, Battlefield 3, Populous, and The Sims 3. Now, $5 thereabouts, I think is a tremendous deal considering it's going to charity and all that. I think this is great. And it just so happens that I've recently purchased it. Now, when I purchased it, Sims 3 and Battlefield 3 were the only games in the $5 range that you needed. You know, you spend $5, you get those games. Since it's a good charity, I spent more than $5, but I really don't care about Battlefield 3. I'm not much into the modern shooters, and I just can't get into The Sims. So I gave those away. I did keep Dead Space, Burnout, Crysis, Mirror's Edge, Dead Space 3, and Medal of Honor, though I figured why not try Medal of Honor. Maybe it's a little bit better. Could be wrong. Might have completely failed by not buying Battlefield. Whatever. And it just so happens I have not played any one of those 6 games, excuse me. I don't know if I'll end up playing Burnout in this format or not, but either way, I figured, it's a good game. I've played a couple of the Burnouts before, previous. I won on Xbox, and I had a steering wheel. And it definitely helped matters. But I figured, well, why not start out with those? So that's my plan. And I figure I'm going to start out with either Dead Space or Mirror's Edge. Now, I do believe that I'm going to start with Dead Space, which I think will be hilarious considering that the only time I ever really have time to record is way late at night. And I've heard it's scary, quote unquote, whatever that means. So, it should be interesting to scare the bejesus out of myself in the middle of the night, cry like a little girl, and scare the crap out of my kids while I'm doing it. So that should be fun. Basically, the next video, that's probably what we'll be doing, is playing Dead Space. Now, there's something else that I wanted to talk about, and that is Diablo 3. As you can see, I'm playing on a Mac. I dual boot into Windows for most of my gaming, but games that do play on Mac, I prefer them. Oops, I wanted to hide that, but whatever. I wanted to talk about the expansion for Diablo 3. I don't know a tremendous amount about it yet, but I do know that it's coming. I do know that there's a lot changing. There's a new class, so on and so forth. I've played a lot of Diablo 3. Not a lot. I mean, not as much as some others. My main character is a barbarian, with only 92 hours in. My wizard's 50 hours, and then I've got a couple other guys, 10 hours and 6.5 hours. Nothing too major, nothing crazy. I am one of the few people out there, I think, that is tremendously ready for an expansion and just hoping that it ends up being good. For one very good reason. I'm the type of person that clocked well over 600 hours into Diablo 2. And it was probably one of my favorite games, if not my favorite PC game of all time. Very, very, very good game. Very in-depth for the era. We're looking at 13 years ago already. Very good, very good. And I was one of the few that still, as much as I enjoyed Diablo 3 on release, I played it, obviously, a tremendous amount of hours, I just have been so dissatisfied with the replayability and the longevity of the game. It's been very difficult to come back to it over and over and over. For a couple of good reasons. The auction house, the short levels in comparison to Diablo 2 in retrospect. The fact that you don't have as much control over the game, as, you know, being able to bounce around between the acts, that type of stuff. It hurts. It's hard because it is a fun game. It is a solid game. The mechanics are good. I love the physics. I love the over the topness of it. And I am a veteran Blizzard player. I've been playing Blizzard games since Warcraft and Diablo 1. Was a heavy WoW player for, I think my main character had something like 300 days on it. And that was just my main out of, I think I quit at 80, and I think I had 380s at the time, plus 2 in the 70s. And which, granted, isn't a huge amount, but like I said, my main character had 300 plus days on it. And I want to see Blizzard pull this out. Because I enjoy Blizzard games. I think Blizzard games have been beat up recently, and I would like to see them improve. And like I said, I enjoy Blizzard games. I do think the Crusader is a good class, got potential. I wasn't much of a Paladin player in Diablo 2. I think the Crusader is going to be kind of the best of the Paladin from D2, and I'm kind of hoping the Warrior from World of Warcraft. I was a warrior. I was a tank. I loved the sword and board. Loved that. And I'm kind of hoping, now I know Diablo doesn't need a real tank like that aspect, but I'm really kind of hoping that that it kind of fulfills that feel of the warrior. I could be completely wrong. It might end up being trash. I really hope it doesn't. I do like the idea of a new endgame. 10 new levels to achieve. Paragon systems change up, so instead of independent Paragon systems for all your characters, it's every time you gain one, you get to be able to customize every character on your account. I like that idea. I miss the customization, being able to overpower a character at an aspect it really shouldn't need to be, which allows you to build characters more efficiently than you would otherwise be. Again, I run a barbarian as my main here. I would love to be able to throw all of my extra stat points into Vit so I could focus more on DPS weapons and gear for survivability. Because I'm Inferno difficulty, killing Diablo, but I'm in a monster power of 1, and I've spent millions of gold in the auction house. A whole nother damn argument there. I've spent millions upon millions of gold because I just haven't had very good luck in finding items. A lot of that is probably due to the fact that I haven't had a lot of time to put into the game. I would like to see that improved. I would like to see these new end games being able to have the consistent dungeons, or the persistent dungeons, whatever, be able to utilize more better items. I've watched the Loot 2.0 videos and seen what we're looking at in the future, where we will be getting less items, but we will be getting better items. I like that idea. I don't need to be stacked full of legendaries. I don't need to find 5 legendaries a run and only have 1 or none of them be worth a damn. I don't need that. But I would like to be able to find good items, even if they're just auction house, or brought down into regions. That'd be fine by me. But better items. New regions for the white items, that's great. It is a game I will continue to play. It is a game that I enjoy. I have enjoyed since day one. I will enjoy for the next quite a while. It's just not something that I'm going to be able to put time into like I did with Diablo 2. Diablo 2 was such a hook. It is still installed on my computer. It is still going to be there for a number of years. And I just don't see Diablo 3 ever kind of achieving the same thing that Diablo 2 has. Could be completely wrong. I hope that it does. I think the new additions to the team, the swapping up of the management, might not be a bad thing. I wish particular people the best of luck in the future. I hope it works out for them. I just want to see Diablo 3 kind of achieve the goals that it was set for, it, and kind of achieve the greatness that it could be. Because I do think it's got potential to be one of the better games, especially one of the better, obviously, dungeon crawler games, if not the best that there is. Torchlight is a very good game. Played probably 100 hours into Torchlight 1 and 2 combined. Very good games, very solid. Like the mechanics. I could use a little better differentiating between the character classes, but it's still a very good game. I've played a couple other dungeon crawlers over the years, both PC and consoles. Most of them just don't kind of stack up to Diablo, and I think most of that is the money issues. Diablo has kind of owned the market, I feel, and I don't think there's a lot of other companies out there willing to stick the money into them. Because, it's easier to put out a cheap game and make X amount of money than it is to put out a tremendous amount of money and hope that you make that and more back. Blizzard is a company that has got a tremendous track record and the capability of putting out some very solid games, even if it takes them a long time. So hopefully, in the future, things will be better. I'm kind of hoping to get some input, what you guys think of the new beta, the new expansion. And hopefully we'll be able to achieve a beta and we can get some playtime in on it, getting an idea of what's going to be what. I am looking forward to the Crusader. I'll be completely honest. Being a melee-oriented player, always kind of have been. I believe I always will be. And in coming from the WoW aspect of the sword and board, I like that idea tremendously. So yeah, I'm kind of ranting at this point. That's kind of all I had to plan for tonight. I just wanted to kind of get some thoughts and some input on what everybody thinks about what's going to happen here over the next little bit. And give me an idea of what you want me to play. Is it Dead Space? Is it Mirror's Edge? Maybe Medal of Honor. Why not Burnout? What do you think? I do plan on recording very soon. Get some ideas out there for me. And thank you very much for tuning in. I do appreciate it, and hope to see you back. Have a good evening.